going on, everybody? Welcome back into TTP Sports. And the Phillies, they take 2 of 3 from the New York Yankees. They take 2 of 3 up in the Bronx. Friday and Saturday, the offense explodes for a bunch of runs. They score 12-plus runs on Friday. Crazy with Taijuan Walker on the mound that, Taijuan Walker actually pitched somewhat solid. And then yesterday's ball game with Ranger Suarez on the mound, you score 9 runs. You do a lot of good things there, and you end up taking a series. But it does sting to an extent. Sorry, my cat decided to wake up as soon as I hit the star button here. But, what is there? You have your ace on the mound. You had basically this series was a gimme. This series sweep was a gimme. And you go into this game with your ace on the mound. Your offense gives Zack Wheeler a 2-run cushion in the top of the second inning with a Nick Castellanos solo shot and also an Otto Kemp solo shot. Gives him a nice 2-0 lead. He instantly coughs that up. And that's basically the deciding factor in this game. Offense wasn't really the best in today's game. Otto Kemp did hit 2 home runs, and the Phillies did have a chance to tie the ball game up. It was a pretty brutal at bat by Johan Rojas with 2 runners on and nobody out. Could not get a bunt down and just decided to stare at 2 fastballs on the outside corner of the plate. And then if he gets the bunt down, the Trey Turner grounds out, probably ties the ball game up. And then Kyle Schwarber was just inches from getting a home run that would have given the Phillies the lead. So that sucks there. But bullpen did relatively fine. Yeah. Today, am I going to kill them today like I did in the series finale against the Boston Red Sox? No. I'm more frustrated with Zack Wheeler than I am with the offense because this is now 2 starts in a row with Zack Wheeler and the craziness with his command. He got away with it in his last start against Boston, and his stat line did finish out pretty good with 6 innings, only 2 earned runs allowed with 10-plus strikeouts. That's still a great stat line that you take away with any day of the week. But this is 2 starts in a row now, like I said. His command's all over the place. He can't throw strikes. He hit 3 batters today. He hit 2 guys in their toes and 1 guy in their waist. So something's off with Zack Wheeler. Most likely, I think he'll be fine. I doubt it's anything injury related. So can you just chalk it up to, okay, Zack Wheeler's just due for a couple of bad starts? It does suck that this is coming off of the complete game that he had against Cincinnati, and realistically, the game that he had before the All-Star break in San Diego, where he allowed the 4 earned runs. So it's 3 starts in a row right now where Zack Wheeler just looks off. And that 1 start mixed in between with Boston where he still looked off. He just got away with it. He didn't get away with it but against San Diego. And he didn't get away with it fully today against New York. But I think the Yankees kind of bailed Zack Wheeler out a lot because the Yankees, realistically, let's just be honest, the Yankees are not that good. They're just not. And also, they lost Judge to a flexor strain in his elbow, so he's going to be out for a little bit. He doesn't need Tommy John surgery, but still, it's a big loss for the lineup for a team that is basically, I guess you could say, in free fall because they just keep losing series, and they just fall further back in the AL East behind the Toronto Blue Jays. So they're a team that needs a lot of work. Their starting pitching is just not deep whatsoever. They only have Max Fried and Carlos Rodon, and then the other starters are just their bullpen's fine, but it's really their starting rotation that and also their lineup I wouldn't say is the deepest in my personal opinion. But I'm not gonna kill, even though today was like a chance that they should have swept. Realistically, they should have swept this game. 2-run cushion for Zack Wheeler, that should have been enough. You score. Granted, like I said, the offense wasn't the best today. I'm not giving them a break whatsoever. I just think that the I'm blanking out here. The Zack Wheeler thing annoys me more than anything with the offense from today's ball game. I know the offense had their chances to tie the ball game up and take the lead, but at this point, you should expect the Phillies offense, when they score a boatload of runs in a couple of games during a series, they're going to have their quiet game, and today was their quiet game. Friday, like I said, Friday and Saturday, they completely exploded. The top guys were doing so much work, so much. Trey Turner had a great series in the first 2 games. Kyle Schwarber hitting home runs left and right. Bryce Harper had a home run in this series as well. Nick Castellanos only played one of the games. JT Realmuto is still red hot. JT Realmuto, Jesus Christ, the home run that he had on Friday, the ball was just absolutely fucking crushed. Holy shit. The sound off the bat and everything. My God. And that was a shocking game, too, because that was Taijuan Walker on the mound. And surprisingly, he only gave up 3 earned runs. And granted, I believe they were all home runs. And I think 2 of those were the Stanton, if I'm not mistaken. They could have been wrong. I think 3 of them were home runs because it's Yankee Stadium at the end of the day. But Taijuan Walker only giving up 3 earned runs. You'll ask that for any time Taijuan Walker goes out there on the mound. You'll take that any day. And then the offense just exploded from there. Kyle Schwarber 2 bombs. I was really afraid that Jordan Romano was going to blow it, but he somehow got out of that situation. Schwarber hit another bomb. They just kept piling runs on the board, and then they ended up winning the game. And then yesterday, they put some runs on the board. Ranger Suarez in yesterday's ball game was kind of comparable to Zack Wheeler, I guess you can say, but in a different sense. Ranger, his issue, his past so many starts, his velocity is down. His velocity is way down, and it's forcing him to be too precise with his pitching, forcing him to be way too precise. And obviously, like I keep saying every time when I talk about Ranger's velocity being down, obviously Ranger's not a flamethrower. His fastball, when it's there, it tops out at like what, 92, 93, 94. We're talking about a fastball sinker combo that's topping out at like 90, 91, sometimes 89. And it's not the prettiest looking thing, and he really has to locate that. And thankfully, the Yankees were giving him a bunch of breaks in the world, and they were chasing a lot of the off-speed stuff. Even the off-speed stuff was very slow from a Rangers perspective, and he got away with it. But he still managed to go 6 innings, but it still wasn't pretty, I guess you could say, just from the look of it. I think that was the case. Hello, Shoko, please, can you go in another direction, please? Oh my, no, 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 thank you. Thank you. I don't know why you woke up as soon as I hit the start streaming button. Animals. Animals. They're always crazy. But, Ranger, it's still something to monitor. I just think it's a factor with Ranger Suarez. His body just can't go through a full season. There's just something always happens with Ranger Suarez that prevents him from just going full season. It really just does. And I don't know if he figures it out, if he finds a way to get that velocity back up. You would think having a week off with the All-Star break would help him figure that out, but no, it really hasn't. And I don't know if it's an injury-related situation or if it's something that he's just dealing with arm fatigue, which he was dealing with last year along with his back issues. So it's something to monitor with Ranger. The Wheeler situation, I think he'll figure it out. It's really weird to see Zack Wheeler this crazy with his command because he just couldn't locate the strike zone. He could not find the strike zone whatsoever. He had a couple of moments in today's game where it looked like, okay, he's probably figuring it out and settling it in. But then once again, he was just, command was crazy. The command was too crazy. It was just very unlike Zack Wheeler. And it really just, if you want Zack Wheeler to win a Cy Young, he has to figure this out quickly. Now, granted, 4 earned runs is not the end of the world because after today's game, the ERA only jumps to 2.56, but it's still something that you have to monitor. What was his ERA coming into today's game? I'm sure it was in the 250s or something like that. It could have been in the high 240s, but still, it is something that you need to monitor with Zack Wheeler because if you do want him to win a Cy Young, he can't keep having starts like this. He's got to go back to the dominant Zack Wheeler where he's going 7, 8 strong innings, only allowing 2 earned runs or less, and having those 8 to 9, 10 plus strikeouts. You need that version of Zack Wheeler if he wants to win a Cy Young. And at that point, even though, like I said, I think Wheeler will bounce back, it's just those few starts that he tends to have throughout the year where he just struggles a little bit, prevents him from winning the Cy Young. And granted, he has been finishing second place in Cy Young voting. It's just something like this will probably prevent him from winning a Cy Young. Remember, like some of the starts that he had last season, like where he got blown up by the Baltimore Orioles in Baltimore, where he got blown up by the New York Yankees at home in Citizens Bank Park, where he just had some of those games where he struggled and he allowed a lot of runs, probably garnered a little bit of, took a little bit away of the Cy Young voting there. Now, granted, I think Wheeler will be fine, obviously, and who knows, maybe the way with Christopher Sanchez is pitching, we'll see what his start is like tomorrow against Chicago White Sox, coming off of the complete game against Boston. we'll see where that goes. But if Christopher Sanchez continues to dominate start in and start out, you might be talking about Christopher Sanchez sneaking up and getting that favor for the Cy Young. That'll be crazy. And of course, Paul Skeens is going to be involved in that, of course. So basically, at this point, I think your top three Cy Youngs are Wheeler, Skeens, and Christopher Sanchez, unless something else widely happens. I don't know. I don't know. So I do think Wheeler will be fine. It's just very unlike Zack Wheeler, and just something that I think they just got to look at the tape and just maybe fix a little bit of the mechanics. So maybe just as the mechanics are off, then you just got to go back to normal. Maybe it's something like that. I'm not sure. But this series, I'm not going to kill them like I did against Boston because Boston, you blew a 5-0 lead. Now, granted, today you blew a 2-0 lead, and you could have won the game with your ace on the mound. But this is a type of game where a game like this happens. A game like what happened against Boston doesn't happen. It shouldn't happen. So, and yes, it is 2 series wins in a row, but it's also what the frustrating thing with this team is they just refuse to go on consecutive stretches of winning. Yeah, they're winning series, they win series, win series, win series, but it's not like you're winning 3 in a row, you're winning 4 in a row, 5 in a row, or something like that. It's either you win 2, you lose the series finale. You win 1, lose 1, win 1. You lose a series, you win the final game, and then lose 1, win 1, lose 1. It's so it's just a win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, and they're not going on a stretch of just winning a bunch of ball games. And the thing that stings right now is the Mets are doing that. They're going on a stretch of winning ball games. I believe they won 6 in a row coming into tonight's ball game when they play against the Giants later. So right now, yeah, you're still there within the standings, but I think with today's loss, that'll put you a game behind the Mets, and if the Mets do continue their winning streak, that'll be a game and a half behind them. So it's something to monitor. Like, you need to start going on winning stretches. You do have a good sizable lead in the wild card. You are 4 games up in that second wild card spot, and you're a game and a half behind the Milwaukee Brewers for the first wild card spot. So, granted, like I said, it is something to monitor, just something to look out for there. But you do need to start going on winning stretches. Right now, this team hasn't done that in a very long time. So they really need to start doing that. And you do have a series upcoming where a sweep is demanded against the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox are not a good team. You need to sweep that team going into the trade deadline. You need to. You just need to. But then it also comes to the fact where you have a high, feeling series against the New York Yankees. Is it going to be the Phillies team that shows up against the Chicago White Sox and says like, they half-ass it through the series, and then they lose the series against Chicago? That's the thing. That's the thing. They need to sweep. They need to sweep the White Sox. They just need to. That is a team that it is a demanded sweep. I'll be pissed off with winning possibly 2 of 3. You got to win that series. You do have Christopher Sanchez on the mound tomorrow. I believe it's Jesus Luzardo on Wednesday or Tuesday, and then I would assume it's Taijuan Walker on Wednesday. I would assume that's the case. There is also news on the Aaron Nola front. He is scheduled to make his rehab start on Thursday in AAA, I believe it is, unless he's going to AAA or it's single A or something like that. He's expected to throw around 60 pitches, so we'll monitor that as it goes along. And obviously, there's been a lot of rumors and talking about the trade deadline this entire week as we're getting closer and closer and closer towards Thursday's deadline. And obviously, there's a lot of interesting things talking about, the Nick Castellanos with the Kansas City Royals rumor keeps popping up. Now there's even more rumors popping up about the Phillies, being heavily interested in guys like Eugenio Suarez, Luis Robert, and all that stuff. Obviously, they're still going to go out there and get a bullpen arm. We'll see where it goes. I'll talk about some rumors after I go through some of these games. I know we're 15 minutes into this stream right now, but there are still games to talk about here and games to fully recap. I'm just, trying to get my full sense of everything right here. And Friday's game, I didn't watch the first half of the game because went to the movies to watch Superman. Good time. Very enjoyed the movie. Heavily recommend that. And then I watched the back half of the game when I was in the Applebee's next door to the movie theater. Just put up Apple TV on my damn phone, and then I'll watch from there eating dinner at like 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night. That's basically what it was. Yesterday, was able to watch the full thing in the car ride to Down the Shore, and then today, obviously. So, very, very interesting weekend, to say the least. So let's go over these games. So Friday, you win by a score of 12-5. Taijuan Walker He goes 5 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs allowed, 3 strikeouts, and 3 home runs allowed. And the home runs were by Stanton, Volpe, and Wells. Those were the home runs that, no, actually, it was Stanton, Wells, and Bellinger. Well, Volpe hit the home run against, I believe that was Romano. But going through the entirety of today, so Bellinger gave the Yankees a 1-0 lead with his solo shot. Wells hit the home run to make it 2-0. Then Stanton actually Schwarber tied the ball game up in the top of the fifth with a 2-run shot. Then Stanton hit the home run in the bottom of the sixth, made it 3-2. Then you go to the top of the seventh inning where everything breaks open. So it broke open very late for this Phillies squad. So Turner led off with a single in the seventh. Schwarber with a single, then it made it first and second. Harper grounded out, which allowed Schwarber and Turner to move to second and third. And then Castellanos, he reached on an infield single, and there was also a foul ball that should have been caught by the Yankees in foul territory that kept the at-bat alive for Castellanos. Then he grounded at the first base at Goldschmidt. Then Goldschmidt tried to throw home, and he completely missed the catcher, which allowed the run to score, and everybody was safe. So 2 runners on for JT Realmuto. This is against Luke Weaver, and JT crushed it. To say crushing it is saying the least. The crack of the bat from JT was insane. That was like, holy fuck. My God, dude, where the fuck did that come from? Where did that come from? I know he had the home run on Wednesday against the Red Sox. JT has actually been very good for a little bit here. It's just now the power's starting to show up. He's been like, I think they said on the broadcast since June 1st, he has the best average in the National League or the best average in baseball. So JT has been consistent with the hitting, so good for him. I didn't think that he would have the power like he had, but good for him. Good for him. Bottom of the seventh inning with Romano out there on the mound. Volpe hit a home run to make it 6-4. Then Rice reached on an infield single. Grisham grounded out, which allowed Rice to get the third. There was a balk involved in there as well. And then Judge hit a sacrifice fly, made it 6-5, and then eventually Romano got out of it. Then you go top 8, 2 outs. Turner works a walk after being down 1-2 in the count, and then Kyle Schwarber hits another 2-run shot to give the Phillies a cushion, 8-5. Then you go to that top of the ninth inning. Castellanos with a leadoff double, thinking that he wasn't going to score. They intentionally walked Kepler because I guess he was a pinch hitter at that point. I'm not entirely sure. Sosa then got a single, which scored a runner, made it 9-5. Stott with a double that scored 2 runs, made it 11-5. And then Trey Turner with a triple that scored another run and made it 12-5 and basically put the game out of reach. So good there. And for the lineup, Trey Turner on Friday was really good. He went 4 for 5 with an RBI. Kyle Schwarber, he went 3 for 4 with 2 2-run shots. Harper was quiet. He went 0 for 4 with a walk. Castellanos 2 for 5 with an RBI. JT 2 for 5 with a 3-run shot. Marsh 1 for 4. Kepler 0 for 3 with a walk. Kemp 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Sosa came in the pinch hit for Kemp. He got the RBI hit. Then Stott went 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Phillies went 5 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Banks came on in the 6th inning to close it out for Walker. He got out of that situation. Then Romano did not have a good 7th inning. Kerkering came in. He looked solid, 2 strikeouts there. Then Robert closed the game out on 7 pitches. So 12-5 on Friday. Then you get 9-4 on yesterday's ball game. And the Phillies, they take an early lead. Turner, leadoff ground rule double. Schwarber then Harper get out though. So thinking to yourself, oh God, is Trey Turner going to be stranded? No. JT Realmuto with an RBI single puts the Phillies up 1-0. Then, a couple of innings quiet. Bryce Harper against Marcus Stroman hits a solo shot with 2 outs. He crushes the ball. Then you go top 4. Brandon Marsh with a leadoff walk. Kepler with a single that advances Marsh to third. Stott then walks. Then you get bases loaded. Johan Rojas, surprisingly, had a good at-bat with bases loaded. He worked the walk. Made it a 3-0 Phillies game. And then Trey Turner grounded into a fielder's choice, which allowed a run to score. Became a 4-0 game. Schwarber then walked. Then Bryce Harper was up. He grounded out to end the inning, so run stranded. Ranger Suarez did allow a run to score in the bottom of the 4th inning off of a Dominguez single. Became a 4-1 ball game. JT Realmuto had a leadoff double in the top of the 5th. He did not come around to score. Top 6, Stott with a leadoff single. He steals second base. Rojas' ground out moves Stott to third. Trey Turner with a double that scores Stott, makes it a 5-1 game, and then got a couple of more base runners. Nothing comes around to score. Then you go top 7. Kepler with a leadoff single. Edmundo Sosa, after a couple of very ugly at-bats in this game, crushes a solo shot to center field, gives the Phillies a 7-1 lead. Stott then walks. Rojas grounds into a fielder's choice. Same thing with Trey Turner. There was an error by Jazz Chisholm. He reached base safely. Then Schwarber doubles into the gap, scores 2 runs, becomes a 9-1 Phillies lead, and then eventually the Yankees piled on some more runs. Stanton hit a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 7th inning against Robert. They got another run in the bottom of the 8th against Rangel, who was that inning just completely dragged on. That dude did not know what to pitch. Became 9-4, and then eventually that's where the game ended. Yesterday's ball game, the lineup wise, Trey Turner another good day, 2 for 5 with 2 for 6 with 2 RBIs. Kyle Schwarber 2 for 5 with 2 RBI. Bryce Harper 1 for 5 with a solo shot. JT Realmuto 2 for 4 with an RBI. Brandon Marsh 2 for 3 with a walk. Max Kepler 2 for 5. Edmundo Sosa 1 for 4 with a 2-run shot. Stott 1 for 3 with 2 walks, and then Rojas 0 for 4 with an RBI on the bases loaded walk. The Phillies did go 3 for 19 with runners in scoring position. And the one scary thing with yesterday's ball game was a walk, or a pop-up actually, by the Yankees that was going into the outfield territory. Edmundo Sosa was calling it off, but then there was a collision with him and Brandon Marsh. I guess Marsh didn't hear Sosa calling him off, and Marsh runs into Sosa, and Sosa instantly grabbed his back. He looked like he was in a lot of pain, but definitely looked like you avoided the worst with Sosa because obviously he played in today's game. So, scary situation, pure accident, can't happen. You gotta have your ears better out there in that situation, but you avoided the worst. You avoided the worst case scenario, and Sosa's fine. Then you go to today's game. Zack Wheeler was not good. 5 2/3, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 hit batters as well, and 8 strikeouts on 103 pitches. Only threw 59 strikes. He just could not find the strike zone in today's game. Phillies got the lead first, 2-0 lead. Castellanos with a solo shot in the second. Same thing with Otto Kemp. So you got 2 runs there. But then Wheeler instantly coughs it up. Stanton with a leadoff single that could have been caught by Rojas in center field. The ball, he just missed it on a dive. Then Chisholm gets hit by a pitch in the toe. Dominguez then gets hit by a pitch, so technically Wheeler loads the bases up with walks and a single. McMahon then doubles down the line, which scores 2 runs. It should have scored 3 runs, but for some reason, Jason Dominguez stopped at second base and then continued the run, so that is horrible base running by the Yankees in that perspective. Volpe then struck out. Wells then hit a sacrifice fly, and then Grisham hit a 2-out RBI single that put 2 more runs on the board. So, sacrifice fly by Wells made it 3-4, then Grisham single made it 4-2. Top 3, you go down 1-2-3. Top 4, you go down 1-2-3. Top 5, Kemp with another home run to dead center field. Made it a 4-3 Yankees lead. You did have more chances to score in this inning. Sosa reached it on an infield single. Weston Wilson walked, but then you got the terrible Johan Rojas at bat, where he laid a bunt down the first try, took it for a strike, and then for some reason just did not decide to bunt the rest of the at bat and just took 2 strikes on the outside corner of the plate and struck out. It was the worst at bat that I've possibly seen in my goddamn life. Then Trey Turner grounded out, which did advance the runners, but it was a good play by McMahon to get Trey Turner out at first, and then Kyle Schwarber just barely missed a home run. It died right at the warning track, and it was funny because the freaking Talking Yanks people said it was, oh my god, what an insane play by Cody Bellinger. No, it wasn't. He just caught it at the fucking warning track. He didn't even need to jump. Didn't even need to jump. It was insane. It was stupid that they reacted like that. Dumb. Dumb. Top 6, JT with a 2-out single. Nothing happens there. Top 7, you go down 1-2-3. Top 8, you go down 1-2-3. And top 9, you go down 1-2-3. So, offense really didn't do much today, but Zack Wheeler also did not give him the help when the offense did score for him. Your top of the lineup, as hot as they were in the first few games, they were not hot in today's. Trey Turner goes over 4. Schwarber goes over 4. Harper goes over 4. Castellanos 1 for 4 with a solo shot. JT 1 for 4. Kemp had 2 home runs. He went 2 for 4. Sosa 1 for 3. Wilson went 0 for 1 with a walk. Stott went 0 for 1. He also barely just missed a home run as well. Rojas went 0 for 2. Marsh went 0 for 1. You went 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And Banks and Strom, they did their job out of the bullpen. They kept it close. They kept it tight. And that was basically it. And you ended up winning 2 of 3 in this series against the New York Yankees. And your record now on the season is 60-45, exactly 15 games above 500. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing more rumors as we go on through the week of the trade deadline. I don't know when they're going to make trades. I really don't know. It's just an interesting thing. There's a little bit of an update on the injuries. I just see it right now from Ty Dalbert from MLB Phillies Nation, actually. Alec Boehm rejoined the Phillies in the New York today, and he'll head to Chicago with the team. He threw in the batting cage today and did some rotational work. Rob Thompson said not swinging the bat yet, so probably still will not be seeing Alec Boehm for a little bit. Just trying to see, I'm trying to see any more on the trade rumors that I've seen over the past few. I'm sure Alex Cole has probably retweeted a bunch of that stuff. So let's see. There was something right here from today as well, from Sleeper Phillies, and they're quoting something from Hector Gomez. So the Phillies are willing to do whatever it takes to acquire D-backs third baseman Eugenio Suarez, says the Mariners remain in intense talks, and mentioned the Cubs in the same sentence, with the Phillies willing to do whatever it takes. It was also mentioned by Bleacher Report and John Heyman that if the Phillies acquired Eugenio Suarez, Kyle Schwarber will play in left field like he was doing today. That would be interesting. You know, I'm not sure how people are going to feel about Eugenio Suarez. I have seen some people that are not the best thrilled with it just because of fit with the team. Suarez is going to be the top bat on the market just because obviously he has 36 home runs on the season, and it's the pure power right there. If you just look at Eugenio Suarez's numbers this year, they're really good. Batting 249 with 36 home runs and 87 RBIs this season with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's a career 249 hitter. He obviously has above 300 home runs, a career OPS plus of 113. This year, he's just having a career year, obviously, in a contract season. He's basically on pace to have his best season probably of his career, because his best season was with the Cincinnati Reds in 2019, where he had 49 home runs and 103 RBI, following a 34 home run campaign with 104 RBI. So that'll be interesting. He is going to strike out a lot, obviously. That's who Eugenio Suarez is. He has 113 strikeouts this year, batting 249, 320 on base, 584 slug, 904 OPS. Just try to look at some of his splits so far this year. I just want to see if there's anything that's intriguing or something that maybe like you got to sway away from. No, his numbers are good against both lefties. Okay, actually, let's see right here. He mashes against righties. He's not good against lefties. He slugs against lefties. He doesn't have a good average against lefties. Against right-handed pitching, he's batting 273 with a 335 on base and a 592 slug with a 928 OPS, 25 home runs, 69 RBI. Against left-handers, he's batting 179 with a 277 on base and a 558 slug with an 835 OPS, 11 home runs, 18 RBIs. His numbers are way better at home in Arizona, 260 average, 344 on base, 667 slug, and a 1011 OPS with 24 home runs. So he's a better home player than he is on the road. His first half numbers and his second half numbers are very comparable, besides the home runs. The second half obviously just started. He was very good in the month of June with 11 home runs. He batted 315. What else is it? He has a 940 OPS this month. Overall, his numbers have been pretty solid. That's basically it. He's not a good defender, though. That is one thing. He is not a good defender. He is not a good defender. I know that's a thing they're going to have to look at there, and I'm not sure what they're going to do. So I'm assuming if they're moving Kyle Schwarber to left field, if that's the case, if they do trade for Suarez, if they do, Suarez comes in, Schwarber goes to left. I'm assuming that means Suarez is the DH. That's what I would assume at that rate. Let me see his baseball savant. Baseball savant has a lot of red and a lot of blue. Obviously, he's going to strike out. He doesn't walk. So basically, you're just relying on him for pure power. You're relying on him from pure power. What are his numbers with runners in scoring position? Is that a thing that I can see here? Numbers with runners in scoring position. Would that be advanced batting on baseball reference? I want to see. Runners in scoring position. Runners in scoring position at the base running. Where is runners in scoring? What are his numbers with runners in scoring position? Numbers with runners in scoring position this year. His numbers with runners in scoring position. Can I see something here? Is there anything that just splits runners in scoring position? Let's see. I think I see something here on Fangraphs. I'm just trying to look. Where is it at? Where's the runners in scoring position? I just want to find that stat. I wish it was easy to find, man. Splits. Situation. Runners in scoring position. There we go. Runners in scoring position. Okay, I think that filtered it here. This year he is batting. Let's see. So splits. So okay, so runners in scoring position. This year he has a 280 average with a 387 on base, 645 slug, and a 1032 on base percentage, or on OPS, on base plus slugging, with runners in scoring position. So he's very good with runners in scoring position. So that's a fact. So he's very good with runners in scoring position, something the Phillies desperately do need. And there's also some things, obviously, that we're talking about there as well. Alex Cole did, I believe it was Alex Cole. They were talking about the whole KC with Nick Castellanos rumors. I doubt that's going to happen, even though they did say there's some heat to it. I don't know. If they do go out, and there's also rumors about them, they're also heavily invested in Luis Robert as well from the White Sox. Robert's more of a project than anything. That's a guy you got to fix. I know there's immense talent in the world right there, but like if you're talking about trying to go out and win a World Series, Robert's not the guy you really go after. I don't know. That's something that I'm more iffy about than anything. It's weird. It's definitely a weird thing. Bullpen help. I'm sure they'll get bullpen help. I'm not sure what guys they're still going after. Are they still in on Class A? Are they still in on Duran and all of that stuff? I think I heard the rumors when tied to Suarez that if they go get Suarez, they'll also get Shelby Miller from the Arizona Diamondbacks. What is Shelby Miller's numbers like? Wasn't he a former Philly this year? Wasn't he a former Philly? And Shelby Miller has been very good this year, actually, for Arizona. 34 years old, 36 in the third innings, 40 strikeouts, a whip below 1, a 1.98 ERA in 37 games. He's got 10 saves this year. He'd be a very good addition to the bullpen. Very good. Very good addition. But we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll see more rumors as the weeks go along, as the days go along. Don't think I see anything else. Want to know something that was always great. Here's something else here. This is from Underdog MLB. Status alert: Aroldis Chapman leaves the game with a trainer on Sunday. Ooh, that does not help for trade purposes for teams in the Boston Red Sox. If the Boston Red Sox are going to trade Chapman, you want to know what's crazy from today's game? So there was a video that's going around on Twitter. I think it was originally posted on TikTok, then reposted to Twitter. There was a couple at Yankee Stadium today in the bleacher, in like the high bleachers behind home plate, it looks like, from what I'm looking at. And this couple was sitting in front of the cameraman, obviously, that was filming them, trying to conceal filming them, obviously. And you can kind of tell it's a boy and a girl, obviously, the couple that is in front of this cameraman. And one's a Phillies fan, and one looks like the boy is a Phillies fan, the girl is a Yankees fan, I think. You can tell that there is some devious things going on in this video. I don't know if I could say it. You can tell from the female's reaction that the male is doing something to pleasure her. And all I'm just going to say, that the people that are sitting in the rows in front of those two, they're in the involuntary splash zone. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. They're in the involuntary splash zone. Crazy. I don't know why you would go to a baseball game and try to get away with that shit. Jesus Christ. Why would you do that? Why is that? The more I think about it, the more funny it is. But it's just like, why? Why do you have to get that weird? Why you gotta get that? Why you gotta get that freaky at a fucking baseball game? Wait, are you that bored? Are you that bored to where you gotta pleasure your significant other on the bleachers? I was just like, what? What? This is crazy. You guys can easily go find that on Twitter. It's right now. It's trending as a big. It's trending big right now. Should I post it here in the chat? Should I post it here in the chat? Because oh my god. I'll send it. Now it wouldn't send. Why will it not send? Paste. Send. There we go. There we go. There's the link. The link has sent for you guys if you want to go view that stuff. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I'm so It is hilarious. I'm like, yo, do that somewhere else. So, getting off of that, because as funny as it is, I gotta move on here. 3 more games until the trade deadline, and 3 of those are against the Chicago White Sox on the road. 2 7:40 starts and a 2:10 start on Wednesday. Game 1 will be Christopher Sanchez against Davis Marks. 2-8 with a 3.89 ERA. Chicago White Sox pitcher. I'm not expecting much. Tuesday, it's Jesus Luzardo against Jonathan Gannon. 4-7 with a 4.48 ERA. And then it'll be Taijuan Walker against Adrian Hauser. 6-2 with a 2.10 ERA. So basically, is their only little bright spot there, and I'm sure he'll be a trade deadline piece. Most likely, who knows? Hauser might not pitch on Wednesday if he's traded at the deadline. That could be something. Then after the trade deadline, obviously you're playing the Detroit Tigers, who are in a very bad skid. They have been losing a lot of games. The Tigers have been losing a lot. They've been losing. Jesus Christ, they've been losing a lot. So going back to the last series win, which was in the first half, before the All-Star break. They won a series against Tampa Bay. That was July 7th through the 9th. Then since then, the series before the All-Star break against Seattle, the 11th through the 13th, they got swept, and swept badly. And then they haven't won a series since coming out of the They have 2 wins since coming out of the All-Star break. They lost a series against Texas. They got swept by Pittsburgh. And they just lost 3 or 4 to the Blue Jays, who just continue to win games. The Blue Jays are just finding some form right now. That is crazy. That is crazy. 63-43. They're 20 games above 500. Are they the best record in baseball right now? Yes, they are. They're the best team in baseball right now. 63-43, a half game ahead of the Cubs and the Brewers. That is crazy. That is crazy how the Blue Jays completely just transformed their season. Holy shit. Holy shit. What else is there? This is a mock trade, obviously. Okay. I thought it was like a breaking news type of thing, but no, it's a mock trade right here. It's that MLB Marathon account, and they're saying, "Oh, we'll do some mock trades." And one of the comments said Johan Duran to the Phillies. No, we'll make a mock trade of a player, and then this person said Johan Duran from the Twins, and I'm assuming they're doing the Phillies right now. He says, Johan Duran to the Phillies for Aiden Miller, catcher Eduardo Tait. Those would be the 2 players in their mock that would go to Minnesota. Don't see anything else. Don't see anything else. Like I said, we're probably not going to see any more rumors until... Well, we are going to see more rumors as the week goes along. That's basically it. That is basically it. Crazy. What else is there? What else is there? No, don't see anything else on the Twitterverse. We do have a couple of voicemails here. We actually have 3. From Sean, Zack, and Steven. So we might as well get to those as we are getting further in the stream. And I should be ending it soon, so... let's see what Sean says.
This game and this series, eerily similar to the Boston series for me. A chance to sweep out an opponent. You get off to an early lead. You're feeling pretty good, especially with Wheeler on the mound. And the wheels just fall off the wagon. But again, you know, there's one thing that's alarming me, in that the starting pitching is starting to leak oil, not named Christopher Sanchez. Last 2 starts have not been good. I didn't think Ranger Suarez was particularly sharp yesterday. And if the starting pitching goes, this team goes in the tank with it. Because the lineup, once again, I mean, in a ballpark where pop-ups are home runs, all you do for offense is get 3 solo homers. I mean, they hit into a little bit of tough luck, but again, not being able to put the ball in play. I don't know what the hell Johan Rojas was doing in his at-bat. That, to me, was the most critical play of the game. First and second, nobody out, and you stand there and take 3 pitches right down the middle. Make it make sense to me. But again, lackluster offense, up and down, feast or famine, does not win championships. And I'll reiterate, if the starting pitching goes in the tank, this team is in big trouble.
Yeah, it's definitely something to bring up here. I think Wheeler would be fine. I think Wheeler's allowed to have a little bit of wiggle room to figure it out. Ranger, I think, is just obvious. Ranger just can't go a full season, so we'll just see how that carries through. But yeah, I don't think today was similar to Boston. I 2-0 lead. Obviously, you had a chance. I don't know. The Boston one just seemed worse to me. That was just the Boston one just felt worse in that instance. This one, I'm like, games today happened. I don't know. Maybe that's a flaw on my part, but that's just how I feel. Get Zack.
All right. Well, they can't get the sweep, unfortunately. They very well could have, but Zack Wheeler just wasn't on his A game today. I mean, at the end of the day, they did only end up giving up 4 runs, but you were facing Rodon. He settled in. You know, sucks to lose it because you just want to sweep those shit Yankees. Fuck the Yankees. But I'll take the 203, especially after how it went last year. I really did want to sweep after how it went last year. But, you know, it's nice. All we need to do is win the series. Hey, it was a good first 2 games. JT's bat is really heating up. Rice, Kyle, Nick today, and Otto Kemp. We have our third baseman. I mean, the one thing I do want to bring up, and this is not to take a shot or anything, but is it a coincidence? I mean, seriously, that this lineup is clicking without who? Who isn't in the lineup right now? Our everyday player, Alec Bohm. I don't know. Is it a coincidence? Are we just better without him? I don't think so, but is it a mojo thing? It could be, you know? I still think he's a good bat. He's about a 280 hitter, a lot of doubles and RBIs, but, you know, who knows, man. But I hope this series proves to Dave Dombrowski that, you know, this is a good baseball team, and you know, they can get hot, but they're going to need a lot more than what they got, man. Bullpen. Some bullpen was good today. I'll give them credit. They've been a little better recently, but you need more bodies, and you need more hitters. So I'll keep drum until July 31st, man. And then we won't ever have to talk about this again. But yeah, go Phils. Peace.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement with most people. They should have swept. I'm not denying that. They really should have swept this series with Wheeler on. I put it more on Wheeler than the offense personally. I know your offense had chances to take the lead and all that crap. He did hit into some tough luck, but I think this is more on Wheeler than anything else. I just think it is because today was just very unlike Zack Wheeler. I just put it more on him, realistically. You get him a 2-0 lead, he coughs it right up. That's more on Wheeler. 2-0 lead should be enough for Zack Wheeler to dominate. He just didn't. And that's not to say I'm concerned about him. I think he'll be fine. But, yeah. You needed something from your ace today. They gave him a lead. Ace didn't give it right back. So, that's the only thing I would say that's more annoying than anything today. So, that and the Rojas at bat. I think, yeah, the Wheeler just not looking right. And then Rojas is at bat with the 2 men on. That was probably the crucial part. Let's get to Steve.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's 2-3 this weekend. I feel like it was a series overall. I mean, I would have really have liked to sleep, though. I mean, I guess the one positive today was Otto Campy from Power in there today, but he's back to one around 6 innings. I mean, that's what aces do, man. They don't ever stuff. They can still go out there and give you, like, around 6 innings, not 8 guys. But, well, this really didn't, just have a lineup much today. And that's about it. I mean, my big thing is hopefully this week Dave Dombrowski steps up and makes a big trade to help this outfield and help this pen. I mean, I need to see it, believe it, but I mean, I hope they do something because as of right now, with the team that they have fielded out there right now, I don't think they can get to the World Series with the team that they currently have. I think you need pieces, and Dombrowski's going to have to get them this week.
Yeah, he definitely does have to. I wish that connection was a little bit better. And I'm not sure that was on your side or anything. Probably, who knows? It's probably just Google being Google. Yeah, also Kansas City did trade for Grigic. That did happen yesterday. We'll see. It's typical Android phones. I'm not blaming Rojas entirely for the game. 99/22. If you watched Johan Rojas on a consistent basis, you would not like Johan Rojas. Holy, jeez. Ugh. It's fine, Steven. That is fine. That's fine. If you watch the play by Johan Rojas and JT was electric. That was the tag by JT was fucking insane. I have no idea how he tagged Bellinger out, but what Rojas did yesterday, walking with bases loaded and getting the run home, today happens more often than what he did yesterday. So that's why. That's why. Rojas is just. Oof. No. The only thing that Rojas has is he is a good defensive center fielder. That really just is. You have to watch Volpe every day. I do apologize for that you do have to watch Anthony Volpe every day. That does suck. Granted that Volpe actually, Phillies pitchers made Volpe look good this weekend, but for the most part, Volpe's no. Jesus. Yeah. Crazy stuff, boys. Ichiro's giving his Hall of Fame speech, so that's cool. Is there anything else? Just want to see if there's anything. Oh, trust me, when Castellanos and Kemp hit the home runs, I thought Wheeler was just gonna fucking lock it down, especially with a Yankees lineup without Judge. As soon as it wasn't as soon as Rojas missed the play to Stanton because okay, that just happens and Stanton's slow. He wouldn't have turned that into a double anyway. It was when Wheeler hit Chisholm. I was like, okay, his command's off again. After a first inning where he only threw 5 pitches and he looked completely locked in, I was like, where did that go? How the fuck did it just change? I don't know. I think Wheeler will figure it out. It's just, and yes, he is due for his ERA right now is at. It went up to 2.56. I think it went up. What was his ERA after today's game? I wonder if I can track that. Can I track that? After today, so it's not fully. So his ERA was at 2.39 coming into today, so it shot up to 2.59. It looks like. It shot up to 256. So 256 after today. Does that still? It's not going to lead the National League, obviously. ERA, that's team pitching. I need individual pitching. Individual pitching, not team. Not team. Not team. Not team. Individual pitching, player pitching. There we go. Christopher Sanchez. Wow. So Zack Wheeler 256. That threw him down to National League. He is third in the National League right now. He is behind Matthew Boyd and Paul Skeens. Matthew Boyd. He's 11-3, 2.20 ERA. Interesting. 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 As I hear the rain pouring down, it's been very off and on today. Very off and on. But yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today. Have to stream a little bit longer just because I didn't do anything else from Friday and Saturday. Just wasn't able to. But we should obviously. It's the White Sox. We definitely will do day-by-day recaps for this series. And then for the trade deadline, I do plan on doing something for the trade deadline, whether that's just streaming during it or something like that, I'm not sure. So that's something that's playing it by ear, but I do plan on doing stuff for the trade deadline. So we'll just see where the week goes, but obviously we should have stuff for this week for the recaps. So appreciate you guys for tuning into today. Did win the series, should have swept, but today I'm not as mad as I was against Boston. That's definitely weird, maybe a flaw on my part, but we move on. We move on to the White Sox. That's a series that you should sweep. Hopefully the Mets do lose today and break their losing streak, so you're not further back in the NL East, but we'll see where everything goes here, boys. So appreciate you all for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service, and also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Don't pass it up.